Good day, everyone. Hope you're doing well and having a lovely morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on what time it is for you. So welcome to the members public live stream, the LATF sponsored live stream. This is our partnership group. There's a link in the description. But when I refer to the members group, this is where it is. It's awesome. We've got amazing partners, Martiverse, myself, Sir Bud Fox, Milky. And we have more partners getting onboarded, so it's awesome. You get access to everyone's content. Let's go over Bitcoin. Let's go over the market, and let's see what opportunities there are. It always takes me a second to flip between the screens here. You know what, actually, I'll flip to Discord first. So this is just to explain the position I'm in. So this was a couple days ago when price was coming down, I just said there's a nice level of support here, getting a nice reaction. And I said I have a small long at around 39.6 that I took. And then we just kept retesting this level and we eventually impulsed off of it. This is important for me to explain because it will help give you my thought process behind everything I'm about to say. But so as price started coming up off this level, I just said in the members group, strong move coming in the New York session. This was yesterday. Just to let you all know, I'm not really interested in doing anything. I have my longs from this support, so I've already been sitting in this long. I have shorts from the top, which is at 48K, and I added at 47. Either looking to sweep the lows for a long setup, or look for much higher for a short. And I said, unless you are trying to scalp this range, which I'm not, there aren't a bunch of decisions to be made here. You either take the long and wait, which I did, and personally I'm never going to short here. So anyways, that was my update. So we'll go to the chart here. And look, so that was here, right, when we were impulsing off this. I have my longs from here. There's nothing really to say at this point. You're just waiting for this position to play out. So I was waiting for higher, carrying those longs up, and for a possible short. I'm actually just still carrying that long. I've taken some profits off of it. My stop loss is at entry, and I'm looking for some of these higher levels of interest here. So this would be emblematic of a typical members live stream, where I just go through my thoughts on Bitcoin and some altcoins I'm trading, and do a little bit more of an in-depth perspective on the charts I share. So it's not uncommon to get a nice move in the New York Open and maybe a nice pivot. So that's why I like to do my live streams around now. Let's just look at the S&P futures here. I knew we were breaking down into the New York Open because the ES mini trades through the middle of the night. And you can see here, as we came into the actual open of the market, we started rallying here. So it's not uncommon to push up or retrace in the first hour of the day and then reverse that move throughout the rest of the day. So there's a few different ways I like to play the New York Open, but more so I need to hit key levels. So I've kind of two levels on Bitcoin I'm interested in, which is this level, which is a big point of control on the volume profile. And it's kind of a zone because there's 382 here. There's definitely horizontal levels. So I think this is pretty solid resistance. Of course, it's always possible you just break through it. And if that's the case, then I'm not really interested in shorts until higher, actually. Because by nature, if we break out here, we're claiming this level. And unless we lose that level, it's a lot more likely we push up to some of these higher regions where there's horizontal levels, fibs, and I went over those a few days ago, or yesterday actually, in members live stream. So those are my upside levels. And I'm refreshing them. I went over them all yesterday, but to the downside, this is actually my major level down here around 38 to 38.7. Um, but the reason I took a long here, I found this other horizontal level, is because sometimes Bitcoin likes to do, my thesis anyways, was that price would come in and front run this level and put in maybe a range, maybe even up to the highs here, and then sweep this level later, stopping everyone out. So it likes to do that. It likes to put in a range and then sweep the lows or sweep the highs before a rejection to stop everybody out before the big move, and then have a quick move. And we see that a lot, like even moves like this, right, where it's a range, sweep the highs and then reject, stopping everybody out of their shorts. Same with that, and it happens to the downside quite a bit too. But so that's Bitcoin. These are my local levels. Here. I have levels beyond them to the upside and downside if we break through them. But for now, it's just a matter of waiting. I'll just answer a quick question here. Someone's saying, I was thinking to short again at 48K region and take profit ASAP and keep the rest running. Oh, of course, yeah, 48K is going to be big resistance, but it's a long ways away. I don't even know how likely it is we come back and retest 48, but if we do, certainly an important level. But lots of levels before then. Yeah, we can go over, let's go over APE as well. So my APE trades, I've had some really great trades and some average trades too. I got this short on APE, and so that was nice. And then this is the long that Marta shared in the members group, this idea of the backtest of the trend line, which I was waiting for lower. I have these levels turned off right now. I was waiting for lower. I'd taken profits on my shorts, and I was gonna take a long lower. But when she shared that idea, and then I kind of looked at some other confluences there, obviously it's just the lows of this range as well. I did take that long because I'm like, oh yeah, it is the back test of that trend line. And so I took that long, and then I took this short. I took profits on the long. This was actually a golden pocket retracement. This little move down. So I actually added to my longs there because that's a nice retracement level. So anyways, and then I took this swing failure short. So I've traded it quite a few times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then all my shorts got stopped out, but I'd taken massive profits on them, so it didn't really matter. And then now it's just my longs running. And once we claimed this level, I wasn't so interested in shorts, this horizontal level, but I have been looking for higher up here. Somebody asked if I would short this resistance swing failure, and I just said, not really, not after we've claimed this level. I'll just wait for higher and see what we get. Even this, like, there's a lot of levels here. Even if we reject, I don't really care if I miss the short. I'd rather see us put in a range, even come back and backtest this level and push up into this higher resistance. But yeah, that's APE. I won't go over like every single altcoin, but I'll look at a few. Got this nice long off near. There's quite a few trades added on this dip as well. I give all those updates in the members group. I actually found this level on a members live stream. Yeah, I'm just also pausing every few minutes here, seconds, to read the comments. Someone saying Bitcoin has a hidden divergence on the 4-hour, bearish divergence. Also a lot of conjunction at the price range zone you have on your chart. Downtrend line PLC, and also middle line of channel that comes from 32.9. Yeah, I think it's a nice level. So even this dip that we're seeing right now, I know this sounds funny. I don't know what will happen, of course, but this makes going higher likely throughout the day. Like pulling back, it doesn't make it certain, but pulling back in this first, been half hour of the New York session. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, obviously the bottom of the market can drop out. I still have my shorts from the highs, so I don't really care. I've taken profits on my longs. And so I'll just wait for either my upside levels or my downside levels to be hit. But yeah, oftentimes what happens is, this is a little suspect on the ES, is you get a volatility around the New York Open, and you'll put in an initial move and then retrace that move. But we'll see. There might even be some nice longing opportunities if we get a nice retracement. But yeah, if my longs get stopped out, that's fine. They're in profit, and maybe we come in and sweep the lows here, and then that's a nice setup. It's really important. For me, I don't care what price does if it's not at a level that I have a plan to trade. So like, obviously most of you have seen my pin video where I was planning for this 48K short. I am waiting for my levels to be hit even from down here. And yeah, it's like this happens. It's like, oh no, we're rejecting from 45K. I'm not necessarily really that, I don't really care. I have a high time frame target. Price is moving towards it. I'm patient. I wait. And then even this, like, I'm not just going to close my short because this happened. I'm patient. I can let price break down. I'm willing to let that short, I've taken profits. I'm willing to let it get stopped out so that I can trade it down to its targets. So, yeah, you'll find over the long term, if you trade with the mindset of being patient and understanding that, yeah, some of your trades, are going to get stopped out with only small take profits. Some of them are going to hit their targets. Over the long term, you're going to be way better off setting take profits. Like, so for me, entering a long, setting a take profit, stop loss to entry. Even if you long it again, take profit, stop loss to entry. You could get 3 or 4 trades out of a single level before the move actually happens, ultimately making more money. And then you feel good even when this happens. It's like, oh, I've taken profits multiple times off a position. Even if we retrace, I'm well in profit on this position. And you're just kind of comfortable sitting in it. You're not stressing out about every move in price. All right, I'll read some more questions here. What with trades in FTM, I'm still trading and scalping it. I don't understand the question. Can you analysis WRX? I might take some requests here, but we'll see. Profit Blue shared long at 40K region. What's your views of a bounce back at 40K region? Yeah, well, this is all major local support here, right? 40K is the golden pocket. It's the highs of these range. I mean, this is a important retracement level, especially in the New York Open. Like, I'd just say it's more likely than not, if we get a violent move down to this level and we start seeing price halt and heavy volume coming in here, that we would bounce. So yeah, it's a really important level locally. But you have to trade with risk management and care, because it's always possible to cut through that level. So you have to be careful. But yeah, like I would maybe even trade that level. Even though I'm in longs, it's a nice level. And I like when levels are hit in the first hour of the New York session. It's really important. The timing of the move is important. Someone says, do I still have my short on FTM open? Yes, I do. Retrace to 42 would be really cool. BTC looks dumpy. Yeah. Price usually looks dumpy when it comes into a key level and reverses. You want, the market likes when people are shorting into like a support level and then get squeezed out. Produces a lot of volume. We can already see some nice volume coming in here. So it's not uncommon, right? You see, like, look how flat the volume's been on the 5-minute charts down here. The New York session starts, all this heavy volume. This time of day is really important for major positions. So just have to be careful because we did put in a rally right at the open, like a pivot high. So that could be a major high. Ben Chang says God was shorting and closed. Yeah, I don't know why you. Well, I'll just put it this way. Let's just say you were shorting. I don't know where your short was. If it was in this range, maybe the highs of the range. Like if I was looking for shorts here personally, I'd be looking to take shorts around the highs of this range. And for me, when I take a position, like my short would look like this. If I was like locally scalping it, maybe my targets are down here. Well, I'm not going to close this short unless my stop loss is hit. Like there's no reason to close it. Trying to guess that price is going to come through it. You just, when you take a trade setup, you have to, you have to let it play out. Like you have to know, like for me, this is just a rule. I'm in a short. Here's my invalidation. I either hit my take profits or hit my stop loss, and I don't touch the trade. Because what people end up doing is they come in here, even like these longs like this, they come in here and they just start over managing their trades. They're closing them, they're reopening them, they're getting stopped out, they're reversing them and shorting. It's just like, I'm trading this long off this key level. So I'll just let it play out. It either comes down and gets stopped out or it goes into profit. Someone's asking for my thoughts on near. Near's really near key level. I really wish, like you can see I have an alert here and it just missed the alert. I really want to come up and tap the middle of this channel in this golden pocket. So like for me, there's nothing really that bearish. Like it's pretty, I'm kind of looking for that level. Price likes to do this impulse, distribution, consolidation, impulse. Obviously you get these pullbacks, but right now we're sort of still in this like impulse, distribution, impulse, distribution, impulse. This can get or up thrust or whatever you want to call it. This can get bearish quickly, but yeah, I'd like to wait for higher. With Bitcoin dumping a little bit, maybe we do come in and sweep these lows or even lower. But I'm just trading key levels. So I have my longs. I've taken profits. I'll wait for higher or lower. Yeah, at least Bitcoin is doing something interesting. But for me, I'm going to just turn on the 382 here. I mean, I'm going to wait for key levels. Yeah, it is the 382 in the top of this range, but like for me, it could bounce from here, but it's not where I would add to a long. I already have my long, so. Yeah, but I think we're at a nice level here. This is nice, this is nice. I'd personally just like to see lower. I mean, this is a pretty bearish rejection locally. So, what Bitcoin likes to do is everyone always expects the move to happen right away. But if you look back at price, like this is on a low time frame chart, Bitcoin, they expect this to be the move up. But it's like unlikely just to V-shape up. It's more likely to range. And this is unlikely to be the big move up. It's more likely to come up and then retrace, stop everyone out, and do this, and maybe even do this, and then make a move. So that's why taking profits consistently, you're usually going to get a chance to re-add to your position anyway. So I'll be careful with the, I mean, there are a lot of scenarios where the market's on the edge of the knife, but like for me it's sweet because like I have shorts from 118 on Luna. I have shorts from 48 and 47K on Bitcoin. I've got shorts on FTM. I've got a lot of shorts, like swing shorts. So I can still look for longs. I trade long and short at the same time, so I'll trade my shorts as separate trades from the highs, and then I'll look for my longs at support. But yeah, if you've been following me for a while, you know, I shorted the top of FTM, but you know, I was waiting for this level for weeks, which was super nice. Still in that short. And Luna as well. Shorted that from the highs. Bitcoin. So anyways, obviously I know not everyone's in the same position as me. A lot of you probably got wrecked on this move down. Maybe you're not in a position and you're looking for that amazing position. This is going to be just kind of like tough love a little bit, but the truth is there's not amazing positions every day. Like this was an amazing short and I was waiting for it. You know, this wasn't an amazing short, this wasn't an amazing short, this wasn't, and so if you say you were looking for shorts because you think Bitcoin's going to, you know, 30K, you might be right, but if you don't time it right and you're not trading the right level, you're getting wrecked and you maybe never get the good short. So, you know, the point is the amazing short here, I mean, there was nice retracement shorts, obviously, but most of the days there was not a great short. There were some okay longs, but the great longs were down here, the great shorts were here, and it's like, are there incredible trades to be had today? I don't know, maybe, but probably not. So you're kind of in and out looking for to take some profit out of the market, but not expecting to be in like the trade of your life every day, because you got to wait for those big levels and have a big, and you have to have a plan for them, because like trades like this will pay you, they'll pay you a lot of money. Same with the Lunas and the Luna short, the FTM. If you have a thesis where you can find these shorts or longs and hold them and not just close them instantly, but hold them for 30 or 40% moves, it's pretty nice. And in the meantime, we're looking for little longs like this where we're taking profit, getting nice trades and waiting for the big levels, the big opportunities for higher time frame positions. Someone says, can you look at ADA and SAN, please? I might look at it in a minute, or maybe do some updates in the members channel later. Someone said, so you usually just trade fibs, RS, waves, also harmonic patterns are useful, like the bearish Gartley that you posted quite a while. Yeah, so harmonics are actually based off of fibs. It's just a series of fibs that create like a market structure. But I think fibs are really important. Horizontals, volume profiles, parallel channels, Elliott waves. Like Elliott waves combine fibs. Actually, they combine harmonics as well, indirectly, and parallel channels. So like a lot of the more advanced technical tools are just a combination of a bunch of different types of technical analysis to add more context. And then you're looking for liquidity considerations and all of that. So you have your key levels, you have whatever, but then you're looking for things like these swing failures that grab all that liquidity for a nice entry. So everything combined, yeah, you have all your technical levels, you're looking at volume, you're looking for the market to be grabbing liquidity and signs of a reversal and to time your entries. Um, Someone says, it's nice to hold a position from a key level. It doesn't matter if your position size is small. Once you take one or two profits, you really don't have much left in the position. How do you hold small position? Um, well, if your position size is small and you take profit and you leave a little bit running and it goes higher, then you make a little bit more money. I mean, you know, I guess what I would say is if you're trading small, let's just say you don't have a lot of money. That's just your reality. You've got to trade up your account. You can't do that by just using insane risk and leverage. You'll just wipe out your account over and over again. So you got to build up your account consistently over time. Be patient. Don't be greedy. Greed will get you killed in the market. Like for me, it's always best to think in percentage terms because that's how all of your risk management needs to work. Like you can't risk more than 1 or 2% of your account per trade. Sometimes you might push it to 3%. People are risking like 50% of their account on a trade, which is like you can't do that. I'm sorry, you can't do it. Your account is going to blow up. But the point is, if I'm trading a $500,000 position and I've taken 3 take profits and I've gotten 75K left on my position, if that's a small position for one trader, 75K, but they're running it up, it's like, but now let's say you have a $50 position and you've taken a bunch of take profits and you only have $7.50 left on the position. It's like, that's just your reality. So what you need to focus on, here's the best way to answer this question. Stop thinking about trying to make money. Think about executing your trades and your positions well. Execution is what matters. So if you can't perfect executions with your $50 position and your take profits, your stop losses, your entries, and trade consistently over time, you won't ever have big positions. You'll never get there. So you just need to, and the same thing about big positions, you just need to wipe the idea of how much money you're going to make because you're trying to trade technically well. And so would it make sense if I said, well, my system says to leave 30% of my position running here till this target, but I'm only going to make $8, so I'm just going to close it all? What? You're trying to build a track record and a consistent trading system that tells you what your results are, right? If you trade it accurately. So, that's all you need to focus on. If a year goes by and you realize, wow, I've made, 75% on my money, or, whatever it is, then, and I've taken 400 trades, and you should track your trades and journal them. So like if you have, it can be simple. Like one thing I like to do is I have my criteria for like what a great trade is. And if it's a perfectly executed trade by my standard, there's never perfection, but perfection by my standard, it's perfect. If I messed up on anything, execution, entry, trader error, take profits, anything, then I make a note on that trade. And then you can just kind of see, like, get a general idea of what percentage of your trades you're actually executing well. Yeah, someone in this comment saying, if you trade with consistency, money will follow. Exactly. Focus on the process, the system. It shouldn't matter how much money you're trading with. But yeah, that, like, somebody in the comments the other day said, who cares about your TA or your positions? How much money are you trading with? You could be trading with $1. Frankly, it wouldn't even matter if I was trading with $0. If it was just paper money. It has not, if you're worried about how much money you're trading with, so like let's say if I was saying which I'm not, by the way. I traded 87 million volume last month. Um, but let's say you're trading this long, you're risking, and you have a system, you're risking 1%. So you set your stop loss, you whatever. It doesn't matter if you're trading that with $10, $100, $500,000. It doesn't matter. That setup is the exact same. The risk needs to be the same, and it needs to be adjusted for your account. If you have $1,000, you can't be trying to trade like you have $100,000 account, because you'll just blow up your account. You get 2 or 3 losing trades, and you're screwed. So, you know, it really, your size actually doesn't matter. Your system shouldn't change based on your size. You know what? I don't actually know. You said, how do you check your trading volume on Bybit? They had a thing like a VIP partnership program. You got different perks for how much volume you traded, and I just know. That's the only reason I know is because there was like a little like leaderboard thing, or like a thing that shows you how much volume you traded and what benefits you get. I mean, you can. There's ways to track it, right? I gotta actually look at it. I had an alert just go off. I'm gonna look at where is it? I'm looking at Aave because this was a trade set up I shared last night. Send an alert. So what I like to do is just set alerts at the levels I want to trade, and if I get an alert, then I'll go look at the chart and see if I want to take a position. For the 382, I'm not like in a big. I have a lot of longs open right now. I have a lot of shorts, a lot of longs, and because the market's so heavily correlated, whether I have longs in File, Ape, Luna, Sol, whatever it is, the whole market usually moves together. So adding to the long, even on Aave, just exposes me to more upside or like long position risk. So I'd need a better position, I think, to long this. Let me down a little deeper here. But anyways, there's some interesting levels here on Aave. But yeah, locally, I mean, very locally, this is a nice retracement level, but I would be careful. You know, you see a little bit of strength in the, yes. But like, you know, you can define your risk. The thing about the market is people get scared to take trades. So it's like, say I want to trade this. And let's just say I want to put my stop loss under this impulse. I want to retrace this, or maybe, and I have a target like that. You don't need to trade it with a 50 leverage position risking half your account. Just trade it risking 1.5% of your account. And if you make a bit of money, great. If you don't, you know, and work your way up to a bigger account. Yeah, some nice comments, just reading through them. Oh yeah, you said you asked support and they said they don't have that feature yet. Yeah, I haven't ever come across it, but they just had that VIP program, and it just said that's how much volume I traded. Yeah, 1% of my portfolio for a stop loss. So let's just say that, you know, my stop loss was 3% away because of market structure. And you could, if you're wanting 1% risk, you could put 1/3 of your portfolio as a position size. say it's 4% away and you want 2% risk, you could put half. So you have to first find your, here's the process. Find your entry level. Where's your entry level? Where's your stop loss? See how far that is, and then you calculate your position size. So first you need to know where's your entry, then you need to know where's your stop loss, and then you need to calculate your position size based on your stop loss so you can manage your risk. Everything else comes after that. You know, how big am I trading this? Well, first I need, if I took a long here, I need to know my entry. I need to know where am I going to put my stop loss. If it's here, it's a different position size than if it's here. And then I calculate my position size and trade it that way. Nesh asking if I can give some trading signals, please. Yeah, I want to, you know, I don't know. Let me click over this. Here's the thing about trading signals is they're kind of like a lie that you could not know anything about trading and just trade a signal. It will never work. You know, you'll never actually succeed because you don't know how to manage a trade. So you think like if someone gives you a level that you'll just be able to trade it. And here's an example. I'm going to show you something. All right. So some of you will see this differently than others. So let me turn on this. Here's a sold trade I said I was taking. I said I was interested in. Price coming down and taking this level. We were at 100, taking this level and reclaiming a swing failure of this high. So I gave the setup. It would be nice to see this level taken locally. As price, I was doing updates on a bunch of altcoins here in the members group. As price did come down and take that level, I said the level's taken. We have a technical swing failure. I give some scenarios. Then I said I entered into the long here. This is what I said. I took a long, and I did take a sold long on the second push of the level. It swing failured. Might add on a retest. So I longed here at $98. I gave this setup an hour before it happened. There were people in the group that said that wasn't clear to them. They needed an entry price, a stop loss, and a target from me. And some of you might look at that and be like, oh yeah, I understand that trade. You know, I might see that and be like, yeah, I might take that too. So then SOL went like this. It went up 8% straight up. And there was the entry. So up here, or up, as price was coming down, I said what I was looking for. I said I entered here. And, you know, if you want to trade, I'm going to tell you right now, it is one of the most difficult careers. If you're not willing to put in a little bit of work to understand just the basics of how to trade, so that you could look at a chart with a line drawn for exactly what's going to happen and exactly what I'm interested in, a move down, a reclaim, an update from me saying I took a long, and that's not clear for you, and you don't consider that a signal to you, like as a trader. Like it's like, for example, like I took a trade off of one of Marta's charts. She didn't give a signal. She said, here's an interesting level. It could be nice for longs, and she gave her analysis. And I looked at it. I hadn't caught that level. I hadn't analyzed it that way, but I understood it. And so I just took a trade off it. I didn't have to ask her, can I long this? And if you're having to ask somebody if you can take a position, you're not ready to start trading. And it's not because I'm being mean, and it's not because I don't want you to make money. It's because I want you to succeed that I'm telling you this. It will not work. You and hundreds of thousands and millions of other people that try to become successful traders without putting in that work and actually understanding what you're doing have just failed over and over and over again. There's people that spend 5 years dedicating their lives to trading, going through all the BS, all the, you know, like there's so much BS on Twitter, for example. You don't even know you're learning the wrong stuff. And after dedicating their lives for 5 years, they're still not profitable. Okay? And they understand analysis and this stuff, but there's just a problem of just not even learning the right stuff. So anyways, the point is, if you're looking for signals, that's why I say this is not a signals group. I will share my trade setups. I will share why I'm interested in them, and 95% of the time I'll share when I take a position. But I'm teaching this style of analysis. And so, yeah, if people are confused about like somebody the other day, I kind of went on a little rant on Twitter. They said that none of my charts are clear. And so I shared my charts, like here, Cardano. Not financial advice. I took a long here on Cardano. I shared that Cardano chart earlier. I shared all of these charts with what I was looking for and said I took a long. And it was 7 winning trades, something like that, in a day. And he said, his response was, yeah, but that's not much that you shared. And he's like, you need to make it more clear. And he said, I think he just had started trading, right? That week. And it's like, anyways, I went back and forth with him like 20 times, just saying, this is where the information is, this is how to get it. And anyways, I just kicked him out of the group. Also, because the first time he said anything in the group was to complain on Twitter and in the public channels that he wasn't getting signals. He never asked, hey, can I get some help? The only thing he'd ever said after joining was to complain on Twitter that, the membership group didn't give him clear signals. For one, it's not a signals group. For two, if you don't understand what these setups are, that's what I'm teaching. So if you're not willing to put in a little bit of work to understand what I took a long off this level means, it's not, you're just not ready to start trading. I think anyone who's just getting started needs to start with paper money, to be honest. Yeah, just start with trading fake money, learn, there's no rush, the market's not going anywhere. Once you've proven to yourself that you can execute trades and be profitable and you understand what you're doing, then you can consider starting to trade with real money. You're just going to lose money when you first start because you don't know what you don't know. I'm telling you, you don't know a lot. There's a lot you don't know. So when I tell you what I think the best way for you to learn is as a new trader, there's experienced traders in here. There's people a couple years into their journey, 1 year into their journey, people starting off this week. But if you're a brand new trader, when I'm telling you this is what you need to do, I value my opinion over yours, right? If you want to be a successful trader. So the reason I have things structured the way they are is because I know what you need to learn and what you need to be able to execute yourself in order to trade profitably. And if you do not understand the setup, you should not be trading it, period. So I say, don't trade a plan unless it's your own. But what that really means is don't trade a plan unless you understand it. It's like me trading Marta's analysis. I understand it. I don't need to ask her. I can see a chart that's not my own, but I understand the trade setup. I don't need to ask anybody for permission. I don't need to ask anyone where my stop loss is. I say, oh, that's a nice setup. I can trade it. All right, I'm done with this rant. What time frame do you use? Swing failures, I think that's what you're saying, SPFs, but swing failures. Typically, it's nice to get a back test of the level in a 5-minute close. It depends on volume and some other things. But time frame, low time frame, I usually like to just trade them quick. But I'm also usually looking at key levels and order flows. So I'm not going to trade random swing failures. I'm going to trade swing failures into key levels. but I like to trade them very quick once the level is like moved through and then reclaimed. Someone says, what's the difference between the different levels of membership? Yeah, I'll go over that just really quick. He's referring to here. I'll just go. Oh, this is kind of weird. There's a weird thing on the website I just noticed. There's a $97 a month membership and a $23 a month membership. By the way, if you want to pay with crypto, tons of people click this, but it's just the weird way the website's set up. It'll send you an email and redirect you to a payment page for crypto. It's not actually $0, but there's no way to get rid of this $0 price. So the difference is, I'll tell you right now. I guess actually the best way to do this is on sharing Discord. I'm new to this streaming platform, so I'll just pull it here. And we still might get a nice move here on Bitcoin, but I'll just kind of answer some questions while we wait. So let me just go over the Discord. We have all these partners. So when you become a member, you'll see all these different tabs, right? So if you're a tier 1 member, that's the 97. You get the Members Bazaar, which is just tons of channels for members to talk about the different topics. Then you get Milky's, like his fundamental reports and FA discussions and all that stuff. So that partner runs this group of channels, and it's all focused on fundamental analysis. Then you have all Marta's members channels, and so everything for her content is under her heading. Everything for my content is under my heading. Everything for Sir Bud Fox's content is under his. So that's all the tier 1. So that's the $97. Tier 2, it's actually a new tier that just started, and the focus is going to be educational content. But each partner has an updates channel, and so I'm sharing some ideas here as well, and then like educational stuff here that goes through like these different setups, and there's going to be more educational content, educational videos, but yeah, it's a brand new, just interacting with members. Like we had a member just talking about how he was getting stopped out of all his trades. So I just, I asked him to do a little test with me when he had some time, pretend he was entering here, tell me where his stop loss would be. So we just walked through, how to get his stop loss. So like someone says, great questions, literally personalized alpha served here. Appreciate the help. Thanks a lot for clarifying your thought process. So it's just about, you get some of this benefit of like learning, asking questions. Someone said this chat you had with this guy really hit home for me. If there is ever a beginner's area, you need to put this chat there for everyone to learn. So it's just, this is the focus of the content, right? To help people improve and become the traders they want to be. And so, yeah, that's what kind of content it is. We actually had some really great testimonies too. Like somebody, the other day said their head is spinning, they're learning so much. They just joined for a year on the tier 1, but they're like, they made $1,000 the last 4 days, and they're pumped. I don't think that's going to be everyone's story. Like, it depends what level you're at. So sometimes you're a more experienced trader, and you might pick up on some of these concepts or new ideas quicker. They might just be filling in a gap for you. And for some people, it's just they're brand new starting, so it's all new. Okay, so someone said, laughing at the bulls and bears, depending on which part of there, could you... Someone said, I've been following from Twitter, and it's really helped. I think there was an important question here. I'm not saying these aren't important, but a specific question about it. Yeah, someone's saying my group's all about education, not signals. I hate that people say give me signals without knowing how to trade. I really learned a lot from you. Yeah, and the thing is, it's like, isn't it truly isn't financial advice, but I'm sharing all of my setups. But I already know, like, you might think in your head, well, if you're sharing all your setups and you're saying what you're going to trade and you say when you enter a trade, aren't those signals? Nope. Because I already know psychologically, people can't trade this. Even though in hindsight, it's like, wait, why didn't I just take that trade? Because he said this is what he was looking for, and then he said he went long, and I'm sitting here indecisive, and price just keeps running up. I wish I had a signal, but it's like you're at that point in your trading journey, you have so much to learn and so many psychological hurdles to overcome and so much confidence to gain because maybe you've been wrecked 1,000 times and you have the baggage of all your previous trades. You just, whatever, who knows? You can't consistently take these trades unless you do a little bit of learning and you need to do it. So anyways, it's like I do share all my setups. I share the whys. Not all of them are winners. I'm going to tell you that. Like I have a high win rate, but not everything wins. We have to just open up the charts here again. Yeah, someone's just talking about their journey. Thank you. We really appreciate it. It was me. It helped a lot. But also keep in mind with this partnership network, the whole concept of it is to just create the highest alpha community there is. So adding more partners, and your membership's not going to change price. So just we're going to keep building and adding content and bringing in more experienced traders and fundamental analysts and people who focus on different areas of crypto. And the idea is to make it just like this amazing hub for everything related to crypto. Someone's asking what percentage of the setups I shared did I actually trade. Pretty much all of the ones that I said. I mean, if I take a trade, I'll share a setup, and if I take a trade, I'll say I took the trade. But a setup, like for example, I don't even know if I don't think I even have the analysis on here anymore. There was a setup on Luna that I shared. I said I'd be interested in a certain setup. I'm not even going to redraw the analysis, but price came down and the setup never happened. So I said, this is a setup I'm interested in. And then I just did an update and said, we didn't get the setup because price didn't reclaim the level I was looking for. It actually just lost the level. So I'm not going to take a trade. So that's the other thing that could be, let's just say like there's a GMT idea that I like. If I don't get the setup or like the setup doesn't play out, I'm not actually going to show the setup here. If it doesn't play out, and if you don't understand what that setup actually needs to qualify, you have to learn that type of trade setup, then you might think it's happening, but it's actually not. It's being invalidated. So you need to know the difference. Like you don't know what price is going to do until the level is hit, and obviously support and resistance levels get broken all the time. So you want to look for some confirmation. Yeah, one thing, if anybody goes through the pay with crypto realm, people figure it out. I don't know if people are clicking on it and not going through it because it's confusing, but it should be straightforward. So if anyone goes through it and they're trying to pay with crypto and they find it inordinately confusing, let me know. Because it shouldn't be, but maybe it is. Looking at a chart and understanding it speaks to your journey. Yeah, for sure. So, okay, so someone's saying what would they personally recommend for the membership group? Honestly, it just depends where you're at. Like, obviously, it depends on your financial situation. It depends on if you're wanting, maybe if you're just starting out, you might just do a month of the lower tier. For people who are brand new to crypto, they might not be able to get absorb all of the content. in the higher tier. So maybe it's nice to understand. Oh, one of the differences is I do more or less a daily live stream for the higher tier members, and I don't do a daily one for the lower tier. But um, I think the live streams are really useful. Typically, they're not going to be like obviously answering questions about the membership. They're going to just be market focused. This one's kind of gone into asking questions about that. But I think yeah. One of the things that's really important is that like you have your plans, and you might have your Bitcoin plans, then you're looking at altcoins and making plans on those, and maybe you have plans on Bitcoin and 7 or 8 altcoins. You set your alerts and you go over those on the live streams. And so once you have your plan set, that's great. If price is like this, you're just kind of waiting. Same with the altcoins. But like somebody asked me to look at AVE yesterday, for example. The price was up here. I said I'm going to be kind of interested. I mean, I am interested in this level we just bounced off of, because what it is, like if you went back and looked at the live stream, that was the initial level I drew down to, the 0.618. It's a really nice back test on a high time frame here. That's what I was kind of waiting for, but this would be an example of where I maybe didn't trade a nice setup. And maybe just wait for lower, because I have a lot of longs here, so we'll see. Yeah, Learning Ape isn't available with the Pay with Crypto, and the reason is just because it's kind of a hassle to deal with all those smaller crypto payments, but that's just because of the current system. So I'm working on something that's just going to make it way more streamlined and direct. So anyways, that option will be coming, but it's not available right now. Is there a routine slash exercise? Yeah, well, I mean, obviously you want to learn all of your analysis. You want to learn your risk management. Someone asked, is there a routine slash exercise to help with the trade? Keep trading with paper trading, find confluence area. Those are questions. So yeah, you want to first learn all the technical, tools, which I have videos on teaching a lot of those, and I'm making more. You want to learn how to manage your position with your entry, stop losses, targets. And here's the thing that's important. Even if you don't have a lot of money, or maybe all your money's in one trade or 2 trades because whatever, you don't want to trade a bunch, paper trade tons of different setups. The more time you spend on the charts in the market and get an understanding of how trades play out, you can kind of think if you're just looking at something like, oh, I get that. But when you can feel it, when you can actually see that position in your account play out, even if it's just paper money, it makes a big difference, right? So nothing replaces time on the charts. Like, you can think of trading just like anything else. Executing your trade is game day, right? So if we're going to use a sports analogy, it's like, yeah, you might have a game on Saturday, but what do you do the rest of the time while you're preparing for that game? Do you just hang out with friends and sit on the couch and smoke weed and drink beers? No, you're practicing, you're training, right? So, same thing with trading. You're honing your skills so that you're prepared for game day. I want to add one thing. When you ask, like, what membership would you start with, it also depends on what you're trying to accomplish in crypto, right? Like, some people are just kind of at the stage where they're not even sure how involved they want to be with it, but they're interested in learning more. And I think that might be a thing. Some people are just all in, right? They want as much information as they can. They want fundamental reports. They want technical analysis. They want a community that they can engage with and build and hone their skills together with. So yeah, it just depends. You know, there's people in the group trading with a lot of money that maybe even have more experience. There's people just looking for whatever edge they can find, and you know, that's where they'd be more interested in the higher tier group. Somebody was asking about swing failures. Here's the thing that I'll just say. I'm making a members video on swing failures and a couple other things, but yeah, I mean, I talk about them in every single live stream because everybody's always asking about them, and so I need to. I'm not going to go through that all for existing members or people that just hear me talk about them over and over. I won't. So just to add to that, I can't go over and teach everything I know in every live stream. Like everybody wants to know, like, how do you do this? How do you pull fit? And it's like, for people who have been here for a while, that gets pretty painful, right? To go through the same content every live stream that I have specific content on. Maybe I'll just do that as a disclaimer at the start of every live stream from now on. He said, for say at a high time, you don't necessarily nail the exact target. Do you still enter even at slightly different target? Like a front run. Yeah, sometimes I'll have like a scale end zone. Just depends on the setup, but you know, like I have some higher targets here for this level I kind of am interested in for shorts, but this is sort of a region. So even if you, like for me, even if I just scale into a small position and maybe add to it here, like some people would say, what's the point? I mean, for me, a small position is still probably a big position for a lot of people, but it's like, the point is, you're trying to make money, right? You're trying to execute a trade. So it's like, even if you just get a small position, for example, on near here the other day. Actually, I want to pull up Sol because it was a better example. Is this always? This is the Sol long I took, great profits, and then I long this retrace, and I scaled into my position here because I don't know. I'm thinking that we're getting a retrace here and we're going to get another nice move, but I don't know. I added to my position how deep we'd come. There's different fib levels here. So I started scaling into my position early, even though I thought it likely we could come down to here. This is a region, so I scaled into it. And we got a nice move, obviously. Big profits taken. And this is another possible retrace. All right. Well, I got to get some more work done because I need to deliver some of these videos I keep saying I'm making on these different topics. The other day, I just asked people what topic specifically in the members group they'd like a dedicated video to. And so I want to get some of those made. Yeah, and I'm not going to do a bunch of chart requests. The purpose of this live stream, just from like the members' perspective, is to go through a plan for the morning. So like ideally, it kind of derailed a little bit, or a plan for the day. It derailed a little bit because of the public aspect of it, but the idea is for me to just, hey, this is a key time in the day where I'm typically taking positions or looking for positions and preparing. So let's go through the market. Let's see where we're at, and you know, if there's anything to learn and any maybe setups for me, and focus on that. It could be a half hour, it could be an hour, whatever, depends on the conditions. And then we carry on with the rest of our day, and there's some context for maybe future updates for the morning or throughout the day. All right, I'm gonna wrap it up. I appreciate everybody's time, and